God bless you. And sweet tea, no one
Yeah, whatever, another bread.
So we're just gonna be one short.
Yeah, God bless you.
Okay. It's Tiffany Bringer too.
Since I'm retiring,
My grandkids would have, two of them come over.
the what?
Two of my grandkids come over and go to the track truck and all, but
Oh, okay. I got it.
You got things going?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call the roll, please.
Callaghan.
Here.
Jacoby.
Present.
Scarborough.
Here.
Page.
Here.
Showers.
Here.
Freeman. Olson.
Here.
Okay, let the record reflect, we do have a quorum. Looking for approval of the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Okay. Anything you want to pull? Okay, clerk, call the roll.
Callaghan.
Yes.
Jacoby.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Page.
Yes.
Showers.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Okay. Chief, you now have a new police officer.
Hopefully.
All righty. Onwards to the mayor's comments. I'm going to direct you to the pages that are labeled Project Thunder and the new pages that were put on your desk that have some red highlights on them. Those are further corrections or additions sent by our attorney. This, the packet that you see before you has what we have been given by an interested party to, for the R&L carrier property. It is for the entire piece of property. It's 16.47 acres. They want to develop the whole thing. We have not been told at this point who it is. That's why we're here today, to go forward and look at a resolution so that we can get more information. It does not commit us to that project for them as far as funding or anything else goes. It just commits us to looking into this further with a name. So, John, do you want to add anything?
Not a lot. It's pretty exciting what they came to us with compared to what we've been looking at over there for the last 10 to 15 years. And their willingness to get on this immediately. They want to
Yes.
They want to own it, put the building up, and be in business inside of it right at 12-month time frame, which is that's pretty fast in the construction world. But they're excited. The owners relate to us that the owners are excited and they want it. The owners had been in business for years in Kansas City area. And we're no longer in business, but the family wants to get back into business and use the same business strategies that they used for some 60 to 70 plus years in that business. So that, with their family history, I think it's pretty exciting for the city, especially with the numbers that they provide for potential revenue for Pleasant Valley.
And we did ask them to provide conservative numbers. So what you're looking at is conservative on their end.
So, I
So-
have a question. Yeah, is this type of question or
Yeah,
do I need to
go
wait? Can you hear me all? I know I have my library voice, but, I'm looking at the proposed building, so I see that there's gonna be office space. What does apron in a shop? Is that actually a grocery store?
No.
It's a manufacturing facility.
Okay. Okay, so, when I was looking at the numbers, can you define the manufacturer, or is that like,
That's why
we can't? Okay.
yes.
Okay, so you said they've been in this community or the Kansas City metro area for some time. And what are they needing from the alderman outside of this presentation? And what is the commitment for us to agree, or you don't know?
The only commitment it is from the city is that we're very interested to see their entire business proposal, site plans and everything else. And they haven't purchased the property from Star yet because they want to make sure that the city is on board with entertaining their proposal. And that's basically all it is yes, we're willing and fully willing to look at your proposal and consider it, because it would fall, the city would need to rezone the property back to what it was prior to Star.
And what was the rezoning at that time? Do you recall?
It was M1 at that time, I think. Is that right, Chris?
That water went to,
C1,
Oh,
which
so,
means
Yeah.
Well, C1 is commercial, M1 is more industrial.
okay,
So it allows for parking of trucks and equipment on the property. Can you give a little more insight?
so C1 is your lighter retail, shops, that sort of thing. And like John just said, when you get into the M's, M1 is the least restrictive of commercial and trucking. Differences of things like outside storage of materials, parking of commercial vehicles, different things of that nature.
so, thank you. I have several questions. Since it's going to be kind of industrial, will there be some issues with containment of materials outside of the premises? Because I'm just trying to understand that. And then I looked at the Project Thunder page 1, and we can look at the update, but it still says real estate was 1, 2, 3 below the line that separated. So number 3, real estate tax generated off of developed property, phrase 1. So are we, in lieu of taxes, are we going to agree on the number? Because it says abated 100% years 1 through 10.
that's what they're proposing.
Okay,
Yeah, these are all proposals
okay,
by them. And from what we've seen, the current TIF that the city has on that property with Star Development would go away. They're not asking for a TIF. They're asking for a real estate tax abatement for 10 years of 100%, but they would still pay in pilot, so payment in lieu of
Taxes.
what the current real estate taxes are there.
For unimproved property,
Yeah,
which is your 25,514.
Yeah, so the city would still receive that annually until year 11, they would receive 50% of what the property value would be worth at that time for the next 10 years. And then it would go to 100%.
So then, if I'm understanding the abatement, they'll be paying basically the taxes for 10 years at $25,514 for a total of 10 years for $255,140.
Right.
And then it'll be abated for 50%. So then that's half of the 25 or whatever the value is within the next,
The assessed value.
the assessed value. Okay. I just want to understand the process and the expectations of this company and making sure that there are clear, defined expectations and that there won't be any type of environmental impact of the property and whatever's being done.
Yep, there should be nothing that should, because of the city codes and EPA regulations and stuff that are in existence. We have a better opportunity to stay on top of that as opposed to something that's been sitting down there unattended for 15 to 20 years. If they haven't given us a site plan that shows what their fencing or perimeter, that fencing's for lack of a better word, but it's our understanding that their previous businesses were very aesthetically pleasing, more so than a chain link fence, and that they would be maintained.
Awesome.
Also, we have not had the second report from DNR yet. That was made in July. The site was made in July. And we are requesting to see that, but that can be done after we sign our resolution to go forward.
And the soil sample too.
So,
I've asked for them to do soil samples on the bank, if you will, on the east side of South Church, whatever you call that road coming.
yeah, because I mean, with the pervious surfaces, with storm runoff and there's no trees and stuff like that, that could be a challenge, depending on like cars and diesel and how many trucks are there, that could contaminate our water system over time and immediately, depending on what's being done.
You can see on the plan sheet, you'll notice detention.
Okay, retention ponds,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, and most, I'd say we're gonna be within 96% of the amount of hard surface that's currently over there will be there when they're done, because that whole lot's concrete now.
yeah,
So, and it'll probably be pretty close to that, whether they cap it all or whether they tear it all out.
And you also have the building's roof,
right,
so you've got,
yeah, that's.
So, so it's 19.46 acres of concrete, so you gotta run off of
Yeah,
that.
that's tons. So is there any way we can kind of implement in the contract if they're going to tear up anything, potentially have retention ponds or use environmental sound things where you can filter the water so it's not impacting it? Just some ideas if they're going to start looking, if they know that it's going to be like 19 acres of impervious surface, just to ensure that we can at least try to reduce the oil from the cars, from the trucks, you know, all that. Just something, when you do talk to the anonymous people, if they've considered that, that would be helpful.
That would all be part of what their plan layouts would be for that, because the site plan requirements, I think, today are a lot more stringent than what they were.
yeah, we're under permit with DNR,
Okay.
as a municipality to do BMPs, best management practices during the construction phase. Concrete truck washout, designated areas, no track out onto the roads. And they'll also have that containment. There's a truck will come and evacuate that liquid from.
It'd be
Yeah.
similar to what the concrete plant has up there, where
Okay.
it holds water, but it lets the sediment settle and then they
Yeah.
clean it out
And they
periodically.
suck out
Yeah.
as the sediment fills, like an old septic
So
system.
yeah, it's like pavers that they use to filter it, and then like once the rain or whatever runoff comes, then there's like a paver and soil, and then some like carbon type of stuff, and it filters to clean it out. Gotcha. Thank you.
What kind
Stephanie?
of business is this?
We're not positive.
Well, then how do you know what you're getting? I mean, I don't
Well, I-
understand.
Serenity.
Yeah, just to be clear, right now, the resolution that we're looking at, is not to move forward with development. It is just to get
Move
more
forward.
information with them, get actual business plans. So
Mhm.
right now, they just want to know that we are actually interested.
You know, they don't want to spend $250,000 putting a business site plan together and come to the city and the city says, well, we don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah, so it's-
After they spend that kind of money, this is just kind of assuring them that the city will.
We're
entertain
serious.
it with open eyes and willingness to actually entertain a new business.
And if I could add to that, part of how that works is when there's a piece of property for sale or for use, we as a city, or me, say as a representative of the city, we don't, if somebody calls and says, hey, can I build this type of building there? We don't say, oh, yes, absolutely, you can. We send them our ordinance, and then they read through our ordinance, and they agree to themselves, basically, that what they're interested in building there fits in the descriptions that have been pre-approved by a board and established, you know, and then they decide whether they want to go through with the purchase and all that. That way it keeps us out of the liability, you know, a lawsuit saying, well, so-and-so told me I could build this type of building there. Now you're telling me. So they at least have determined in their mind that in their purchasing the property, they can build what they intend to. Pending, obviously, still you guys all approve.
Phase one of their project would bring 100 employees to that site. Phase two would bring 100 more. So it not only impacts that site, but it also impacts Quick Trip's business in a positive manner.
Yeah, and if their conservative numbers are accurate, the sales tax revenue that would come to the city would be pretty equivalent to what we're getting from Quick Trip, which is really good. So from a perspective of the city and its residents, I think this is a great option.
Depends on what they're making.
Hmm?
It would depend on what they make for me.
What does it matter? 'Cause
It matters because you want to know how safe you're going to be in this city.
Well, yeah, there's things that can't be built that aren't safe. They can't be
Right.
built in the state of Missouri. So those kinds of things we don't
But
need.
I mean, it's kind of, this isn't enough information to really determine what you would want to vote on.
You're only voting on getting more information.
Right.
That's what the vote is today, is
Just to get more
is the board
information.
willing to say, yes, we're interested, we want to see more information, put a site plan together, a business proposal, and bring it to us.
Yep.
So we can actually tell what's going to be built down there. So that's the discussion for today.
Go.
Quick question, since we just had all of the discussion on this, do we want to take the agenda out of order and do the motion for this resolution now?
Somebody can make that a motion.
I'll make a motion, we take the agenda out of order, and I make a motion that we adopt resolution 2025-12-03-02.
We might need two motions, one for taking the agenda out of order and then a second one for the resolution. So I'll
Okay.
second the motion to take the agenda out of order.
Okay, very good,
Start with
thank
that.
you.
And then you have to read it?
Well, once we get to the resolution part, but not for taking the agenda out of order.
Okay. There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second to do that?
Yes.
Mine's the second, his is the motion.
Okay, all right, we've got that. Any further discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Showers,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes. Sorry, I was thinking.
So Matthew, would you please read aloud Resolution 2025-12-3-02, Project Thunder?
A resolution of support for the proposed Project Thunder development generally located at the southeast corner of Sobey Road and Pleasant Valley Road.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Questions? Clerk, call the roll.
Callaghan,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Showers,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Okay, motion's approved. Thank you all very much. Okay. I did not put department head information in this. Does anyone want to speak on something that's needs to be addressed?
Does it need to be addressed, or do you just want us, like I provided my report, if you have any questions,
Okay,
I'm here.
it looks good. We're still bringing in revenue. That's makes me smile. Anyone else? Chris, do you want to give an update on what the building permit would generate on this project?
So calculating the other day, I thought the cost was 24 million to build that building. And one thing that we haven't had clarification on is if that happens, whether that 24 million is for phase 1 and 2 or just phase 1. Under the way our current fee schedule works for building permits, it's $2,200 for the first million, and then $1.25 per 100,000. So I had calculated off 24 million instead of 20 million, not knowing that it was actually 20 million. So anyway, when calculated out on 24 million was $30,000, $30,950. So 20 million is going to be like $27,000 for just that one permit. And then the way our permits work, the various contractors that would come to do the build, your electrician, carpenters, concrete guys, all that, they umbrella under that. So that would be essentially the total amount that would come in revenue wise off the building of that building. So it's a nice chunk of money.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else from the two of you?
I don't have anything.
Thank you. All right. Any alderman comments further-wise on anything?
Yes, or can I be included or in Parks and Recreation updates somewhere here?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But you can speak about that
Yes,
at this
I would like
point.
to speak about it.
Okay.
So we had a meeting this month. There was Mayor Flippin, Chris, and we had actually a full quorum via phone, Clark Israel. So we discussed some ideas in regards to, and I'm just finding out that it has to be confirmed, but I had minutes sent out and a newsletter. I talked to, was it the Civics building? So let's listen to the neat ideas. And we'd love your feedback on this. So contemplating Little Mr. and Miss Pleasant Valley Northland pageant for ages 5 to 10, and basically plan on doing a research and study to see if that's possible. And this is a fundraiser activity and to get people involved. So one of the things that was discussed was to talk to the Pleasant Valley Civic Group. I went over there one evening when they hold their registration, and they informed me that basically May will fill up fast. If we have it on Sunday and it's a fundraiser, there needs to be a contract with John Ellis, the president, and we need to get on it as soon as possible and identify that. The next thing, we talked about the stream cleanup project and potential partnering with people like Boy Scouts. So Day in the Park, changing it to trying to revive it or spice it up. Day in the Park, Grills and Greens, basically a barbecue competition with a family option, and making it a day where businesses, local businesses and other companies can be vendors to create funding. Again, we talked about the mayor's tree lighting ceremony. This is this Friday at 6 p.m. Let's see here. There was one other thing. I sent a draft of a letter to for everyone that was involved, and I'm assuming they didn't get it, for John Ellis for potential dates either in April or in May, June, or July. And then I also drafted up a newsletter document, which I sent out on Monday, the 24th. I'm not sure if it'll be in the newsletter, but there's 4 surveys. So we can get people involved in knowing about Day in the Park, Mr. and Miss Little pageant, the community garden, and then also the FIFA, the Federation of International Football Association, seeing if people would want to rent their home for a whole month. Because I've seen online right now for a 6-bedroom, 6-house, renting for $165,000. So getting people equipped if they should choose to do that and have a seminar. So that's my update. Any questions?
Sure. When you say you sent out a newsletter, are you saying that you, like, do you email out a newsletter? Was that in the Pleasant Valley Flyer?
The objective, I sent it to Clerk Matthew on Monday because it needs to be done on the 25th. I'm not sure if it even happened. If not, we'll just have to push it back to January. So it was a draft, like, summary of, here's what Parks and Recreation is considering. Here are the links for you to fill out the survey.
Okay, so
And hopefully
this was an email?
to Matthew in summary.
So
Yes.
what the newsletter, how do you want the newsletter to be distributed? Via
Do we-
email or print, or what's the plan for the?
So for the newsletter was going to zone. That was the newsletter.
So
But if there are other
The
options,
Pleasant Valley
the
Flyer.
Pleasant Valley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. Unless there's other options, we put it on our website where people can look at it. Because the links, I've tried to shorten them. And the surveys are about 5 to 10 questions. But the whole objective is to see if there's any interest. And if there isn't, or if there is, then we can focus our energy and develop fundraising opportunities to be independent of our alderman.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, Matthew, maybe you know what the process is for, because we don't run the Pleasant Valley Flyer, that's done by the Civic Center. But they put the alderman minutes and mayor's message and stuff, so is it something that we just need to ask them if we can add something else to it?
Well, it may have been my mistake. I thought that was, the Parks and Rec piece was already in the newsletter. If it wasn't, I forwarded it on to Joanne.
Okay. So it would be, so that answers my question though, so that it would be, the hope is to have it in the Pleasant Valley Flyer. Okay.
Correct.
Traditionally, there's been Mary as acting as the park board president would put a feature article, if you will, in the Pleasant Valley Flyer.
And that's what I did pretty much. And I followed the protocol Matthew, or I can send it, but I would prefer that it goes through Clerk Matthew so that there is a chain of command. And that's what I did. So,
Okay, together.
yeah, and we might run for 2 to 3 months just in case, at least get 5 people out of the whole town to say something. That would be great. That includes you all too. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? All right. Any other comments from the Alderman on other topics?
I'll just say this, I can send the minutes, I don't know what the best protocol to send them to all the aldermen, so to ensure that you get them, and I'm not summarizing like this every meeting.
Okay. We can have you send them to Matthew, and then Matthew can distribute them out. How's that? Am I not overcommitting you? Okay. good.
What, do you have a timeline that you
Yeah.
need them by so that you can get them included in packets?
If you want them in packet, my preference would be sometime on the Thursday before the Monday.
Okay.
Okay. Old business, anyone?
Okay, thank
New business. Is that a hand up?
Sorry, no, I was trying to fix my ring.
Okay.
Flip it on.
Then let's go down to consideration of ordinances and resolution and take care of the one that we need to take care of, please. Okay. Would you please read aloud the resolution number 2025-12-03-01?
A resolution naming Hawthorne Bank as the primary banking institution for the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri.
So moved.
Second.
Any clarifications?
I have a question. Would I have to move mine as well?
You're at Central Bank? Yes. Our intent is to get out of Central Bank altogether.
Okay. Because I have to get an ordinance approved moving towards accounts, and then I've got to send it to the state
Mhm.
and order the new checks,
Okay.
because I just ordered a whole new set for the year.
Okay.
Well, I know it's what.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'll have to have an ordinance.
Okay.
to
So you could
provide
do
that.
that by the second meeting in December.
Okay. So this 15th.
Yes.
Yes.
Sounds right.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, statements? Clerk call the roll.
Halligan,
Yes.
Scobie,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Showers,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
We had a first and second on this and a roll call. So the motion is approved. Do I hear an adjournment?
Oh, just to confirm, resolutions only to be read once, right?
That's correct.
Just making sure I'm not crazy. I motion to adjourn.
Second.
Yes. Clerk call the roll.
Halligan,
Yes.
Scobie,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Showers,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Thank you all
Thank
for
you.
allowing us to get a meeting in. Appreciate it very much.
You too.